for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Hope everyone is doing well on this Saturday morning. I hope you've got some nice things planned for your weekend ahead. As always, we've got a really big show for you guys this morning, and we're going to be ultimately doing a bit of a look at what next. What next is happening for Manchester United? What's going on with the striker situation? What's going on with the takeover? Are we going to bring in Amrabat? There's so many questions that still remain unanswered. What's going on with Greenwood? There's so many different things that we want to talk about on today's show. As always, I do look forward to seeing your comments, so do get involved in the comment section. Let me know. Do get involved. I'll try and make it as interactive as possible, and I will read out as many questions and all the rest of it. So yeah, do smash a like on the video, do subscribe if you're new, and let's jump straight into the show. So the first topic that we have to address, the elephant in the room, the one that everybody's wondering about, they're saying, what the hell is going on here, is that of Onana. I mean, how can Manchester United be so bad at doing a transfer? I don't want to start the show off negatively, but it's so frustrating, isn't it? It really is. I want to say it's going to be today, but we literally don't know, do we? For anybody who didn't realise, Fabrizio on Thursday night said, go to sleep, everyone. It's going to be Friday. Go to bed. So you go to bed. You're expecting the here we go on Friday, right? Gets to Friday, and you still have nothing. You still have nothing. Gets to Saturday, and we did get a bit of an update late last night from Fabrizio. He says the following. This is on Onana. He says Manchester United are working on the final details of the add-on structure for the Onana deal, where a 47 million package, which is 43 million upfront and 4.3 million pounds in add-ons, is in place, and then it will be completed. So they're still working on the deal, guys. They're still working on the structure of the deal. I just don't understand. Like, what have they been doing for the last week? I swear the fee has been 47 million pounds for the last week. Very weird. Very weird. Yeah, I hope everyone is doing well this morning. I hope everyone is feeling positive. I'm feeling quite positive today. I'm hoping that we do get the Onana deal very soon. I'm not sure why my video is so red this morning. It's quite weird. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I haven't changed anything on my settings, so I'm not sure why it's so red. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. Let me know how you're feeling today. Let me know if you're excited about the Onana deal or if you're just sick of it at this point. Me personally, as always, it has just kind of dragged all of the excitement out of it for me personally, guys. I'm not even that excited about Onana anymore. Like, obviously, I can't wait to see him in a Manchester United shirt, but the actual transfer side of it, it just has dragged out a little bit too much for me. Yeah, I've just opened the curtain. I don't know if that makes it better. It's a little bit... Right, anyway, sorry about that, guys. So yeah, on the Onana situation, apparently the deal is going to be worth 43 million pounds plus 4.3 million pounds in add-ons, which is a good deal, 47 million in total. I'm happy with that. But the thing that I don't understand is, it was 47 million a week ago. Like, what has happened between then and now? Like, what have they actually been doing? Are they negotiating over whether they pay 41 now or 42 now? It's just like, it's very frustrating, because at the end of the day, I would rather us pay a little bit more money and have Onana on the tour for longer than us pay £1 million less and us have to wait another week. But anyway, we move on. Hopefully we'll get the Onana deal today, but nobody knows anymore, do they? It's just, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get it till next week now, you know. But let's just hope we get the here we go today, guys, and then we can stop talking about Onana, because I'm literally sick of it. Right, let's talk about Amrabat. I know a lot of you in the chat have been saying, I really want Amrabat. I really like the player, me included. So there was a story that came out last night from Sky Sports in the UK saying that Manchester United will go in for another midfielder if they can sell a midfielder this summer. Now, we obviously did speak about this yesterday. Fabrizio Romano said that Fred will leave Manchester United this summer. He's got an offer from Fulham. He's got offers from Saudi Arabia. There's apparently a whole host of clubs who are interested in Fred. So that's very positive. And Sky Sports last night said that we will move for Amrabat if we sell a midfielder. So I think we'll hopefully get the here we go for Onana today, and then we should be looking at putting in bids for Amrabat as soon as Fred leaves the club. Obviously, he didn't feature in the pre-season match against Leeds the other day. So on Wednesday, we had a pre-season match against Leeds, guys. Obviously, Fred didn't play. He wasn't even on the bench. And that obviously causes suspicion, because you think, why is he not playing? Are they trying to sell him? What's going on? But it does look like Fred will leave the club. Yeah, we've just hit 4,000 subscribers, guys. So massive shouts to everybody. Amazing achievement. We're on the road to 5k subs now, guys. So let's see how quickly we can hit 5k. I think we've gone up from 3 to 4 in like a week, guys. So let's see if we can get to 5 in another week. So everybody who is new, please do subscribe. And everybody who's been here from the beginning, big ups to you all. Please do like the video. It doesn't cost any money and really helps the YouTube engagement and all that rubbish. Anyway, so yeah, Amrabat, it does look like we will be putting in a bid for Amrabat. My only fear is if we take too long doing it, are we going to miss out on him? Because there are other clubs interested. Apparently West Ham put in a bid for Amrabat, which got rejected. Amrabat does not want to move to West Ham. That was what was being reported. He only wants to move to a club like Manchester United or Barcelona. He is not interested in a move to West Ham. So as long as we get Fred out of the door in the next week, I reckon that we can definitely get Amrabat. So I'm feeling positive about that one, guys. But do let me know in the comments section. Do you want to see Amrabat at Manchester United, and how much do you think he is worth to us? I would say the 30 million that's been quoted is a very fair price for him. He's 26 years of age. He's a full Moroccan international. He had a really, really good run in the Europa Conference League, didn't he? He had a good run in the World Cup. So yeah, I would definitely be bringing in Amrabat. And I think if you look at Amrabat as a direct replacement for Fred, I think you're definitely getting a better player there. So I'm feeling positive about that one. I don't really see why Barcelona would go for Amrabat, personally. They've got Frankie de Jong. They've got people like Frank Kessie, who I probably would say is on par with Amrabat. At least in my head he is. I don't know whether he's still as good as I think he is. But yeah, you know, when you compare Manchester United's midfield to Barcelona's midfield, like, they have definitely got a better midfield than us, haven't they? So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that one. But as it stands, guys, Manchester United are waiting to sell players before they make a move for Amrabat. But it is a story that's picking up heat. It is a story that I do think we will get more news from in the next kind of days. Everybody in the chat saying I look like Amrabat. I reckon I look like a hybrid between Amrabat, Ten Hag, and somebody the other day said I look like Orlando Bloom as well with no hair, which was a bit of a strange comparison, but I'll take it. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on to the next topic, guys. So we're going to talk a little bit about Mason Greenwood really, really quickly, because I know Mason Greenwood was literally all over Twitter yesterday, wasn't he? It was absolutely everywhere. Mason Greenwood. You literally couldn't get away from it. Everywhere you looked, you saw Mason Greenwood. Obviously, he welcomed the birth of a child, didn't he? Obviously, this is a very difficult subject to talk about, but I do try and speak about everything on this channel. I'm not going to shy away from things. I wouldn't be surprised at this point if we do see Mason Greenwood back at Manchester United. Now, I'm not saying that I want him back. That's a whole nother completely different conversation, which I'm not going to get into at this point because we've already spoke about that on this channel. But at this moment in time, I would not be surprised if we see him back at Manchester United. I wouldn't, because when you put all the pieces of the evidence together, it's been very quiet. We thought he was going out on loan. He hasn't gone out on loan, right? He's obviously just had a baby. If you look on the post of the baby, you saw like Bruno Fernandes liked it. A couple of the higher profile Manchester United players have liked that post and are still following him, right? There are murmurs saying that Manchester United will kind of encourage him and his partner, I can't remember what their name is, him and his partner who they've just had the baby with, to do an interview, right? It's such a difficult one. So I do, of course, want to get you guys... get your guys' opinions in the comments section. What would you do with the Mason Greenwood situation? Obviously, I'm not asking what your stance is on the past. I'm saying in the moment. So let's put, you know, because obviously it is a very difficult subject to discuss. There is lots of stuff to talk about around it. I just have this feeling that the silence is almost deafening. Do you know what I mean? Like, nothing is being said. We thought he was going out on loan to Atalanta. That didn't happen. We thought he was going to go out on loan to an Italian club. It's now come out that he doesn't want to leave England. Obviously, he's just had a kid. Like, what? You can't blame him for that. If he's going to get a loan move to the Premier League, then why would Manchester United loan him out? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a really difficult one to predict, but I do just have this funny feeling that, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I wanted to get you guys' opinions in the comments. Let me know. Now, I'm not asking you what you morally think about the situation, because we've talked about that hundreds and hundreds of times on the show, and I don't want to keep repeating everyone's going to disagree. Some people are going to say that they want him back. Some people are going to say that they don't want him back for whatever reason. But I'm asking you, the question is, what do you think Manchester United will do? Because ultimately, the most important thing here, guys, is what they will do, because it's not up to us, it's not up to me, it's not up to you. We all have our different standpoints on this situation, which we don't need to get into right at this moment. But yeah, like, at the end of the day, if I look at it black and white, he's just had a kid in England. I assume in Manchester. He's lived in Manchester all his life. is he really going to jet off to another country at this point? Is he going to go and live in Italy or something and leave the kid behind? Like, I just don't see it happening. What do you guys think is going to happen? Because as it stands, you know, knowing Manchester United, knowing the Glazers, know how they work, I would not be surprised. Yeah, I would not be surprised if they bring him back. I wouldn't. I know he's not on the preseason and all the rest of it, but yeah. But then the other thing you've got to consider, just to be very balanced, is at the end of the day, he's got a contract at Manchester United, right? So regardless of what they decide to do, they're still going to have to pay his wages. So is there an angle where maybe they say, keep training behind the scenes, you know, keep doing private training with a personal, you know, build your confidence back up, spend some time with your kid, and then maybe they integrate him back into the team later down the line? I just don't see how a loan move to a foreign country would make any sense at this point, because he's just had a kid. He's not going to want to go to Italy. He's not going to want to go to Spain, is he? So unless it was a permanent move somewhere and his family left England for good, I just don't see why he would agree to go to Spain, because at the end of the day, he's still going to be being paid, isn't he? He's still getting paid by Manchester United, and he can just say, no, I don't want to. I have a contract with you. You know, I have a contract with you. I don't want to go to Italy. I want to stay in England, and there's nothing they can do about it. So I think it's a difficult one to predict. I really, really do. If you'd have asked me a month ago, I would have said 100% he's going to leave the club on loan. But now it's come to this point. You hear, you know, stories coming out that he doesn't want to leave England. He wants to stay in England. He's not going to go out on loan in England. It makes it very, very difficult to predict. And knowing how Manchester United work, knowing how the Glazers work, the Glazers care about money, and he is an asset on the books. He is, you know, he's worth. I mean, how much is Mason Greenwood worth in his peak? 50 to 100 million, probably, when he was at his very best. Like, that's all the Glazers see. They see dollar signs. They see an asset that's ultimately being paid to do nothing. So it is a really difficult one to predict. It is. As I said, a month ago, I would have 100% said he would be leaving the club on loan. I think the best thing for him personally, is a loan, just to kind of regain his confidence, to, you know, to play football again and all the rest of it. But it is very, very difficult to predict. But do let me know in the comment section, guys. I know it's a difficult one to discuss. Now, I don't want you to I'm not asking you whether you think he's innocent or whether it's morally right. That's not what we're talking about here. We're literally just talking about whether you think Manchester United will bring him back next season. So do let me know in the comment section what you think will happen with Mason Greenwood, and what you think is best for his playing career. There is somebody I wanted to bring into the show really, really quickly and get you guys' opinions on. Can everyone smash a like on the video if you haven't already? We've got a 200 likes target for the video. There's over 200 of you watching already this morning, so everybody please do smash a like on the video. I wanted to talk about Vlahovic. Now, I'm not sure if you guys saw, last night Fabrizio Romano reported that Juventus have apparently put in a 37 million euro bid for Lukaku. Now, the condition of this deal was that they would only, obviously he's heavily linked to Inter Milan, isn't he, Lukaku? I think Inter Milan bid 35 and now Juventus have bid 37. Anyway, this isn't a Lukaku channel, so you'll get the relevance if you hang on for 1 minute. So they bid 37 million euros, right? Juventus. But the condition of the deal was that they would it's only valid if they sell Vlahovic. Obviously, Vlahovic is apparently up for sale. Now, would you bring Vlahovic to Manchester United? Answer me that. As I just said, guys, Juventus have just made a bid for Lukaku, but the condition of that deal is they will only bring Lukaku in if Vlahovic is sold. He goes on to say that PSG are heavily interested in Vlahovic. Chelsea are not interested in Vlahovic. So at the moment, it's just PSG who are interested in Vlahovic. What do you guys think about that? Would you like to see Vlahovic in a Manchester United shirt? To me, he's available. Juventus want to sell him. They've already lined up a replacement. I personally would probably go and get Vlahovic. I mean, how much do you guys think Vlahovic would be worth in the current market? Let me know in the comment section. How much would you be willing to pay for Vlahovic? He's 23 years of age. Obviously, he's a Serbian international. Right, so they paid, let me just double check this for you. So Juventus paid 81 million euros for him. So what's that in pounds? Let me have a look. So Juventus paid about 70 million pounds for Vlahovic. So I assume they probably want about the same amount of money as what they paid for him. So what do you reckon to that, guys? 70 million pounds for Vlahovic. What would you prefer? Vlahovic for 70, or let's just say Rasmus Højlund for 70, just for argument's sake. Let me know in the comment section who you would prefer to go for. I just saw this story coming out last night, and it's like, Vlahovic is available. Juventus are making offers on other strikers because they're willing to sell him. Is that not a kind of club we want to do business with? You know, they want to sell him. I mean, his stats weren't that great last season. He got 10 goals in 27 matches. So that isn't amazing, is it? And he only got 2 assists. So he got 12 goals and assists in 27 matches, which is pretty average, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, I don't think he's worth 70 million, to be completely blunt. I think if we could get him for around 30, 40 million, maybe. But yeah, I think Vlahovic for me is a no. Unless he was at a really cheap price, you know, if he was like a 35, 40 million pound player, I personally would not go for Vlahovic. And I think the fact that nobody really is interested in him kind of sums it up. Obviously, PSG are interested in him, but they're also interested in Gonzalo Ramos. They're interested in Rasmus Højlund. They're interested in Victor Osimhen. So PSG are interested in a lot of players because they need a striker. Regardless of what happens with Mbappe this summer, they need to bring in a striker. Obviously, Messi's left at the moment. Who even is their striker? I'm not even sure who PSG striker is. Obviously, they've got Mbappe and Neymar, but they need a striker very, very badly. I'll read out a few of you guys' comments now really quickly. Somebody says, maybe Harry Kane is going to Bayern and Vlahovic is going to Tottenham. Yeah, potentially. I think Harry Kane, going from Harry Kane to Vlahovic is a massive, you know, downgrade, let's say, guys. I don't think that Vlahovic is anywhere near the level of Harry Kane, to be completely honest with you. Like, Harry Kane is a quality player, whereas Vlahovic, I'm not that convinced by him, to be completely honest. As I said, I think he got, was it 10 goals I said? Yeah, he got 10 goals in 27 matches. It's not great, is it, in the Italian league? So he averaged about a goal every 3 games in the Italian league. Not great. I know Juventus didn't have a particularly good season generally, but I personally wouldn't go for it. Tim says, I think if we can get Vlahovic for 50 million, it'll be great. He's got age on his side. Yeah, I agree. I think if you could get him for 40, 50 million, I think that would be a good deal. But as I said, they paid 70 million pounds for him like a year or 2 ago. I don't think they're going to be willing to sell him for less than that amount of money, surely. But then arguably they have just put in a bid of 37 million euros for Lukaku. So I don't know, it's difficult. The season before that though, guys, in the 21-22 season, he had a very good season. He got 29 goals and assists in 36 matches, which I think is pretty good, isn't it? 29 goals and assists. The year before that, he got 23 goals and assists in 37. So I don't know what happened to him last season. I don't watch Juventus every week. But ultimately, Vlahovic didn't have a particularly good season last year. So yeah, I'm not really too sure about that one. I think it's one to keep an eye on though, because he is available. We do need a striker. But I would 100% rather get Gonzalo Ramos, and I probably would rather get Rasmus Højlund, to be completely honest with you, because Erik ten Hag obviously wants Rasmus Højlund, so I don't really know why we'd sway off into other territories when there are people available that he actually wants. So I would go for Vlahovic. Sorry, I wouldn't go for Vlahovic. I'd go for Gonzalo Ramos or Rasmus Højlund personally, or Harry Kane, but obviously that's a pipe dream. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. Let's talk about Rasmus Højlund really, really quickly then. So for anybody who's unaware on the current situation of Rasmus Højlund, there was a story coming out earlier on this week saying that Manchester United had a player plus cash bid rejected for Rasmus Højlund, and apparently Atalanta want £85 million. Obviously, since that moment, I've had a bit of time to kind of process all of this, a bit of time to digest it, and I do think that this was just a negotiation tactic. You know, I think at the end of the day, Atalanta are a selling club. They are the type of club who would be willing to sell Rasmus Højlund, and I do think that at the end of the day, they were just setting the bar high. They were setting the kind of initial groundwork of where they wanted to start the negotiation. I think anything near 85 is ridiculous. If we could get Rasmus for anything under 50, I'd say that go and do it. We've just got to keep an eye on it. We really, really do. The thing that's really upsetting me about this situation, guys, is we go on the preseason tour to America on Thursday. It looks like we'll have Onana, touch wood, but other than that, we won't have a striker. We're not going to have a single striker on the tour. Obviously, Anthony Martial's injured. He's out for about 3 or 4 weeks, so Anthony Martial won't be on the tour. I assume Joe Hugel, the guy who scored in the preseason match, will be on the tour. So we'll literally have one player on the tour, guys, and he's an under-21 striker who realistically will probably never make it in the first team. Obviously, I hope he does. I'm not trying to, badmouth the youth players, but let's be honest, like, how many youth players actually make it into the first team? Very, very few. So, yeah, it is a difficult situation, and we do really need to get something going with this Rasmus Højlund situation, because we need him to go on this preseason tour. We do. If we're going to buy him, he needs to be on that plane on Thursday. Right, let's read out a few of you guys' comments really, really quickly. So Bob the Builder says, Højlund has enormous potential. I think he's a world beater in the making. Will a United shirt be too much pressure? Who knows, but worth the punt. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Completely agree. If we can get him for under 50 million, I say go and do the deal. I just think that anything more than that, I think is too much of a risk. Obviously, if we had Sheikh Jassim at the club now, if we had £300 million budget, I'd say go and spend the 60 million because it's worth the risk. But, you know, when we're living on this shoestring budget of around £100 million, which is what's being reported, we've got around £100 million plus sales this summer. We can't be spending close to 100 on one player. Like, it simply cannot happen. Welcome to everybody who's just joined in the last few minutes. If everybody could please smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, that would be absolutely amazing. It doesn't cost any money. It's completely free. Yeah, everybody is welcome here. So please do subscribe and please do like the video. But yeah, for me, guys, I'd be happy with Rasmus Højlund as long as we get it done soon. I think if it drags on into the beginning of the season, again, with the Onana situation, all of my excitement is kind of lost around Rasmus already. As I said on a stream a couple of weeks ago, I was on holiday, I think 5 weeks ago, and we were like heavily linked to Rasmus, about to put in a bid, and we're 5 weeks later and nothing's happened. So it is quite frustrating because at the end of the day, we want Ten Hag to have the best opportunity to succeed next season as the Manchester United manager. And if he doesn't even have a striker, like what do we really expect? Like our expectations should be rock bottom, in my opinion. If we don't get a good striker or even two strikers, like, we can't be expecting to win the league. We can't be expecting to win trophies because you see teams like Manchester City, they've got Alvarez on the bench. They've got Højlund as their striker. You see teams like Arsenal, you know, they've got Jesus, they've got Nketiah, they've got that Ballingan, or whatever he's called. Like, we literally don't have a single striker. So we need to get that done now. We really, really do. Obviously, the 85 million price tag is an absolute joke. Like, there's no way on earth we'd pay that because we simply don't have the money to, even if we did want to. I think if we can get 40 to 50 million, then I think we can get that deal done. Somebody's saying that the Declan Rice deal has apparently gone through. I'm not sure about that one. I will check for you guys. But obviously that is important for Manchester United because what's been reported in the last couple of days is that once the West Ham deal for Declan Rice has got, so West Ham have confirmed the sale of Declan Rice. Declan Rice has left West Ham. That has just been confirmed, guys. I know this isn't a West Ham channel, but the importance of that is West Ham are reportedly going to put in a bid for for Scott McTominay, guys. So we might see a bid for Scott McTominay coming in the next few days. Anybody who's interested, West Ham have just confirmed that Declan Rice has joined Arsenal and he's left West Ham. So let's just hope. Let's just pray West Ham come knocking in the next 24 to 48 hours and say, here's 40 million for Scott McTominay. That's what we need to happen. We need West Ham to put the money where their mouth is. They've got over £100 million from Arsenal. We want them to come knocking and we want to sell McTominay to West Ham. So hopefully that one does happen. I know this isn't an Arsenal channel, but I was getting a bit confused as to why this deal had taken so long to do. But let's hope that, let's just hope that... let's just hope they come in for Maguire as well. I think the key thing here, guys, that I want you to remember, I'm not trying to... Anybody who watches this channel every single day will know how positive I am. I am so positive about Manchester United, okay? I'm not negative really ever. But sometimes you have to be real. You can't just live in a, glass-tinted world. What I'm going on about here with the striker is, at the end of the day, we probably will get somebody, but we signed Casemiro and Antony 3 weeks into the season last year after we'd lost 2 games and Ten Hag job was on the line in some people's eyes. Like, that can't happen again. We need people on that plane going to America, and we need people to integrate into the squad, especially if it's someone like Rasmus Højlund. He's so young. It's, if you brought in a Harry Kane, you could probably bring him in on the transfer deadline day and he'd come in and still score you 25, 30 goals. But Rasmus Højlund needs developing. It might take him 2, 3, 4 years to get to a level where he's going to be scoring 20 plus goals in the Premier League, So this time is essential. And as I've said to you guys before, I literally would just bring in someone like Taremi at this point. So we at least have a striker. And then if we can work on these more complicated deals further into the window, then we can go and do that. Because I do want this next season to be really good. I do have high expectations, but I'm just being realistic that at this point, I think if we don't have a striker, then it could be an issue. But anyway, let's move on for the striker situation. Somebody in the chat saying apparently West Ham are targeting Amrabat. So if anybody missed earlier on in the show, apparently West Ham have put in a bid for Amrabat, but Amrabat does not want to move to West Ham. That was what was being reported. Let me see if I've got the exact quote for you guys. But yeah, we did speak about it on the show yesterday that West Ham were reportedly interested in Amrabat, but he only wants to move to either, I think it was either Manchester United, Barcelona, or somebody else. Bayern Munich are also interested in him. So there's about 2 or 3 clubs circling for Amrabat, but I am still feeling positive. I am still hoping that West Ham come knocking for Scott McTominay, because that is what was reported before, that Scott McTominay were going to put in a bid for Scott McTominay. So yeah, let's wait and see. Do get your comments in as well, guys. I will read out some questions into the second half of the show. So if you have a question, put the letter Q in front of your message and I will read it out. Yeah, as Malk says, this club should be getting the best players on the planet and we're not. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it, to be completely honest with you. You know, Rasmus Højlund's a good player, but I don't know. At the end of the day, the black and white of it is, guys, it's the same in every transfer window. You get really excited about a player. You think Rasmus Højlund's coming to the club. We're all really, really excited. I'm super positive about him. I'm saying give the guy a chance, you know, let's see what we can do with him. 6 weeks pass. Nothing happens, and then you hear that they want 85 million, and you just think, what is going on here? Like, how would you get to this point? That's why it's frustrating, you know, because you see other clubs doing business, and they just, like, you see Liverpool link with a player, right? And by the next morning, they've either agreed a deal or like stuff's moving. With Manchester United, it's just so slow. I personally would be happy if we just brought in someone like Taremi at this point from Porto. He's available for about £20 million. Have Rashford as a striker next season as well, you know, kind of rotating between left wing and striker. I wouldn't be surprised if Mason Greenwood comes back, and then you wait until we get new owners, fingers crossed, or until we get a bit more clarity, and then you go in for someone like Osman, like, because that would be a better option, really. But anyway, let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you guys would do around the striker situation. Yeah, I mean, the only issue with Osman, guys, is obviously he's £150 million. Yeah, again, guys, I'm not going to talk about the moral side of Mason Greenwood. I was more just asking whether you think that he'll play for Manchester United next season. So somebody else says Greenwood should 100% be the striker. His rehab plan would allow him to channel his urges. I'm not sure what that means. That's a bit of a weird comment. So we've got some positivity here. Timothy says, bro, I believe Hojlund will hit the ground running if Man United sign him this season. Yeah, I feel positive as well, guys. I do feel positive about Rasmus Højlund. I do think he'll come in, and I do think he'll do well under Ten Hag. I have full faith in him, and I am excited about him. I just want Manchester United to get the deal done, or get a deal done for some striker at this point. Like, I don't really care who it is anymore. I have a few people: Gonzalo Ramos, Kolo Muani, Victor Osimhen, Harry Kane, Rasmus Højlund. You know, Vlahovic. There are people out there. They're available. Even Taremi. Like, we just need somebody. That's my point. Let's read out of a comment. So Amnat says Erik ten Hag doesn't want any players from the transfer market. He doesn't have trust. It will take time, but he will bring the right players like Martinez, Casemiro, so keep patient. Yeah, I do agree with you. I do agree. I think it's absolutely essential that Ten Hag is bringing in people who he knows wants to be at Manchester United, and who he, you know, knows are going to give their all for the badge. And I do think that Rasmus Højlund is that type of player. He's obviously a boyhood Manchester United fan. He really, really wants the move. He really wants to play for Manchester United. And those are the type of people that we want, because you look at somebody like Gonzalo Ramos, is he going to be the same? Is he going to give the same kind of energy or dedication as someone like Rasmus Højlund? We don't know. So yeah, let's just hope that we get some more news about the transfer window and about the striker situation this week, because as I said, guys, the team set off for the pre-season tour of America on Thursday. People don't usually join the tour if they're signed after that. So say we sign Rasmus Højlund in 2 weeks, he probably won't then fly to America. I don't think. That isn't usually what happens. They usually have to kind of be signed before, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Right, I will read out a few of your comments in a minute. If everybody watching can please smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, that would be massively appreciated. We're going to talk about the Manchester United takeover because we always like to have a little bit of the show where we talk about it really, really quickly. So for anybody who missed the show yesterday, we did a whole show on this yesterday for about 20 minutes talking about this new news piece that came out from The Athletic, which I normally dismissed as just old news that had been regurgitated. As it stands, guys, the thing you have to remember, the key point you have to just get in your heads here is that there is a non-disclosure agreement, right, between the Glazers, between the two parties. So we're not going to hear anything. So we're not going to hear anything definitive for a while, guys. We're not. We're going to have to be patient. And I think the next bit of big news we hear will be a decision. I think it will either be that they're selling or they're staying. So I think we can kind of turn off the news websites putting out new news, because at the end of the day, it's just all regurgitated. I do think at the moment we're in the kind of crunch period of this takeover. And it could be that they sell or it could be that they stay. And nobody knows other than the people directly involved in the transfer. So, in the takeover. So we've just got to be patient with that one, guys. Kind of ignore all the noise. Ignore the the Glazers want more money. The Glazers are not happy with the bid, or like all of that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, these people don't know this for sure. So we've just got to be patient. I'm going to read out a few of your comments really, really quickly. Somebody says, Rasmus will be amazing. I trust Erik ten Hag. I don't want Kane. He's too old. We must focus on youth. Rasmus wants to be here. We tried 30 years old. It's never really worked. Yeah, I do agree with you. I think at the end of the day, someone like Harry Kane guarantees you instant success. He guarantees you instant goals. Probably gets you 25, 30 goals next season. Whereas someone like Rasmus is going to take 2 or 3 years probably to get his stuff together. Yeah, that's the only difference, Somebody's saying, will they announce the captaincy change soon? Yeah, I think they will. So for anybody who is unaware, all of the senior players, so Bruno, Maguire, Marcus Rashford, they all return to training today. So all of the players who weren't there for the first pre-season match are back in training today. Bruno, all of the rest of them, Casemiro. So we will start seeing pictures of, all of the new players at Manchester United today. And I do think we'll get a decision on the captaincy in the next kind of few days, I reckon, guys. I still think it's going to be Bruno Fernandes. That's my hunch. It's not going to be Harry Maguire anymore. It can't be. Yeah. So we have to be patient, but I do think we will get the announcement on the captaincy in the next kind of 24 hours, I reckon, hopefully. As soon as the players are back at training, as soon as he's had a chance to speak to... Harry Maguire and, get that kind of relationship sorted out, I do think we will start seeing some outgoings and stuff, which is really good. Somebody says, I have my fingers crossed for days, and I'm afraid by the time the Onana here we go comes, I won't be able to uncross them anymore. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. I really, really do agree. I mean, I just simply cannot understand how it's taken so long to do this Onana deal. But at the end of the day, guys, let's try and be positive. I am almost... I don't want to say I'm certain, because nothing's certain in life, but I mean, the latest update that came from Fabrizio Romano this morning was saying that that Manchester United have ultimately agreed the fee. They're just working out the structure of the deal. So that will be how many add-ons and all the rest of it. I just don't understand. Like, I swear that was the news like a week ago, and we're still hearing that they're working out the add-ons or how much they're going to pay in advance or all the rest of it. It's just like, I don't know. I honestly, guys, I would love to be involved in one of these deals. Like, do they do it via email? Do they send an email and then they're waiting for 3 hours for the next email to come back, and then they send another email? Or like, how does it work? Like, it's such an interesting area of the industry that we just don't know that much about. Like, I'd love to see a video of how the inside information on how a transfer works, because even Fabrizio, who is like one of the leading journalists at the moment, he thought the Here We Go was yesterday, right? So he literally gets his information from the agents, from the players, from the club. And he obviously was told that it was happening yesterday, and it didn't happen yesterday. So what happened? Did someone forget to press an email? Was it stuck in their drafts? So there's a bit of breaking news coming in, guys, literally in the last minute. Not the most exciting, but it does directly affect the Onana situation. So Fabrizio Romano is reporting that Jan Sommer has said yes to the Inter Milan move, as expected. Agreement already on personal terms. So it looks like Jan Sommer will replace Onana at Manchester United, guys. So yeah, they looks like they've got their replacement. Jan Sommer will go from Bayern Munich to where's he going? To Inter Milan. So yeah, but it is bizarre, isn't it? Like, what do they use to send these messages? Are they using fax? Are they phoning each other? Are they sending emails? Are they sending letters? Like, how are they doing it? Are they sending carrier pigeons? Like, I honestly would love to know. I'd find it so fascinating to actually be in that room and them sat there and be like, they would be like, oh damn, I forgot to hit send. It's stuck in my draft folder. They've sent the deal add-ons. Like, how do they do it? Do you think that's what happened? Do you think John Murta and Richard Arnold had it in their draft? They went out to the pub for a pint at lunchtime and they forgot to click send, and then they got back from lunch and were like, oh, I forgot to click send. Like, what the hell is going on? Anyway, I'm rambling here. Somebody's asking about Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni is not a name that I've heard linked to Manchester United. I've heard him linked to Liverpool. I've heard him linked to a couple of other clubs. I don't think we're in the market for Tchouaméni, guys. I would love to see him at Manchester United, but what? How much is he going to cost? 70 million, 80 million? I don't think we're in the market for Tchouaméni, unfortunately, guys. But yeah, it would be nice. Miles says, "Hey Kieran, I'm a really big fan. Of you. Love from Dubai. Thank you very much. Again, massive shouts to everybody who watches every morning and all of the people who show support. Do let me know in the comments section, guys. Do you think Manchester United are still using that fax machine that stopped David De Gea moving to Real Madrid all those years ago? Do you think the dodgy fax machine has come back again and it's coming back to haunt them in another goalkeeper? Maybe the goalkeeper position at Manchester United is just haunted. Maybe David De Gea will come back. Maybe the fax machine will strike again. You know, maybe it'll be like the David De Gea Real Madrid situation all over again, and the fax machine, breaks down the deal. Or I mean, I literally don't know at this point. It's absolutely mental, isn't it? It really, really is. As I said to you guys, I made the thumbnail for Here We Go last Friday. I made it 8 days ago. 8 days ago, I made the Here We Go thumbnail because I was that certain that it was going to happen, not yesterday, a week ago. And I've still got it sat on my computer somewhere, so I've got to go and find it because obviously as soon as we do get the Here We Go, we will of course go live. So do make sure you're subscribing and do make sure you are hitting the notification bell. I will read out a few of your questions now, guys, so do get your questions in the live chat, and I will read out some. So if there's anything that you want to ask, I will of course try my best to answer it. So we've got a bit of a story coming in about Edwin van der Sar, guys. Obviously, if anybody is unaware, Edwin van der Sar was in intensive care in, I think in Croatia when on holiday. He had, I believe it was a bleed on his brain. So we've got an update here, guys, on Edwin van der Sar, which I'll read out really, really quickly for you. So this is coming from, it says, update on Edwin van der Sar on behalf of his wife. It says, Edwin van der Sar, I don't know what that word is, repatriated from Croatia on Friday evening and is currently in the intensive care unit of a Dutch hospital. His situation remains the same, stable, in a non-life-threatening condition and communicative. The van der Sar family would like to express their deep gratitude to the University Hospital of Split for their great care during the last week. Edwin has to remain in the intensive care unit where he will be investigated further, and the family hope he can focus on the recovery afterwards. So that's positive, guys. There's a bit of a story then coming in that Fred is now back in he's back in Holland. He's still in intensive care, but they've managed to transport him from the hospital in Croatia to the hospital in Holland. So yeah, obviously still sounds like he's got a lot of recovering to do, and obviously our thoughts are with his family and with obviously Edwin van der Sar at this time. But yeah, I think that is positive. It sounds like he has, he's been moved back to a hospital in Holland. So that is, yeah, that's good. Right. Yeah, as David says, supporting this football club is not good for one's mental health. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I do. Like, I really have noticed, I know some people think talking about mental health is not soft, but yeah, I have no issue talking about mental health and feelings because I never used to do that as a person, but I've managed to learn to do it, and I'm not afraid to. But like last week, I was feeling so positive, so positive about everything. Really, really excited about everything. I was really, they're doing a great job. And this week, I've just gone back to the usual, like, what are these people doing? We've got a bunch of idiots running the football club, and it is just really frustrating. And yeah, so everyone just trying to stay positive. I know it's difficult, and obviously, I hope that having a place like this where we can all come and talk, we can have a bit of a laugh, we can have a bit of conversation. Hopefully that does help, with the ongoing situation. So this is a great question, actually. So Amnat says, Kieran, do you think we would change the whole recruitment staff, Woodward, Arnold, Murta, if Qatar comes in? So obviously Woodward's gone. John Murta and Richard Arnold, I think they would be removed, yeah. If anybody missed this was old news. So before people start telling me that you're telling us old news, Qatar apparently, if they get the club, are going to conduct a 100-day review. Yeah, they're going to conduct a 100-day review over the recruitment staff and stuff. So when they come in, they'll leave it 100 days. They'll do a proper review of everything, and then they'll decide whether they're going to remove people. But I would definitely say that people will be losing their jobs, Like, anybody who isn't an idiot can read the situation and say that these people haven't done a good job. In all fairness, John Murtagh and Richard Arnold have been in the job role less than, say, Ed Woodward. He obviously failed and he was removed. Do you know something I didn't realise, just on a bit of a side note? Apparently Ed Woodward has shares in Manchester United. He owns like 0.05% or something. Yeah, anyway. So somebody's got an opinion on Mason Greenwood here. Again, I'll happily read out stuff that isn't about the actual case and about the situation, because I don't want to talk about that, to be honest with you. So somebody says, you guys live in dreamland. He will not be great when he comes back. He is rusty loan Greenwood to Stockport. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't get the loan to Stockport thing's obviously a bit dramatic, but I do actually agree. Like, do people actually expect Mason Greenwood to come back after not playing any football? He only just started training privately, right? He's not kicked a ball for 18 months, as far as we're kind of concerned. He's not played professional football for 18 months. Like, do you really expect him to come back and be the Mason Greenwood he was before? Like, I don't think he will be. But yeah, like, I do think that's a good comment, and I think that's a fair comment, because there's all these people saying, oh, we don't need Rasmus Højlund, we don't need to buy Harry Kane, we've got Mason Greenwood, just bring Mason Greenwood back and we'll be fine. And I'm thinking, like, do you actually genuinely believe that? You know, you're putting aside all of the other stuff, all of the stuff that's gone on with him and all the rest of it. You're putting all of that aside, which is obviously fine. That's up to you. That's your decision. You know, I can't tell you what to think. But you actually think that he's going to come back and he's going to be the Mason Greenwood he was, 2 years ago? I just don't see it. I don't. I think he'll need at least 6 to 12 months to get back to anywhere near he was before. And he might not ever get back to that level. Somebody saying Fred is in talks with Saudi Arabia. Yes, so if anybody missed the show yesterday, we did speak about this one at length yesterday. But as it stands, guys, Fred has offers on the table from Galatasaray, Fulham, and clubs in Saudi Arabia. So I do think we'll get a good amount of money for Fred. I think we'll get around £20 million for him. But do let me know in the comment section, how much do you think we will sell Fred for? Obviously, he's got 1 year left on his contract. He's on about 100 grand a week, so he definitely needs to be removed from the club. But yeah, Fred looks like he's almost definitely going to go. Fabrizio Romano yesterday said that Fred will leave the club. And as I said, Galatasaray, Fulham, and clubs in Saudi Arabia are all interested in bringing him to them. So I think he's almost definitely going to go. And then obviously, as we said before, what was I going to say? As we said before, Sky Sports reported that Manchester United will look to sign Amrabat once they sell a midfielder. So hopefully Fred goes and we bring in Amrabat. Fred's done a super chat. If anybody wants to do a super chat, you can hit the dollar sign. And if you want to join the members club, then you're all welcome. Fred says, have the clickbait fee on me, buddy. Well, thank you very much for the support, mate. I don't really get the comment, but let me know what you mean exactly, because I'm a little bit confused by it. But yeah, thank you nonetheless for supporting the channel. And thank you to everybody who subscribes and likes the videos and watches all the content. I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, do really appreciate you. We just hit 4K subscribers today, which is absolutely incredible. We only started the channel about 4 or 5 weeks ago, right? So the channel is growing so quickly. I love speaking to you all this morning. If there is anybody new here today, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. We're on the road to 5K subscribers. Let's see how quickly we can achieve that next goal. Yeah, I think we can do it quickly, guys. So let's see how quickly we can do it. So yeah, there's a bit of a story coming in around Zion Suzuki. Obviously, he would be a backup goalkeeper. I'm not sure what you guys think about this one. It's not the most exciting transfer to talk about, but I will talk about it nonetheless. So Fabrizio Romano is reporting that Manchester United are working on a deal to sign Zion Suzuki. The Japanese goalkeeper is one of 3 options as backup goalkeeper, and talks are now progressing. No official talks yet with the Ura Reds, as Manchester United are busy with Onana, but apparently Manchester United are talking to the player side of things. So it does look like we will go for this guy. He's 20 years of age. He plays in the Japanese league. He looks good. He does, and I think it would be a good move. So let's hope that we bring him in, and then obviously then, guys, that paves the way for Dean Henderson to leave the club, which 100% needs to happen. Dean Henderson definitely needs to be moved on. Apparently Forest are willing to pay about 25-30 million pounds for him. So if we can get that deal over the line, I think that's very, very positive. Okay, this is a great question, and this is one I want to ask everybody else in the chat as well. So somebody's asked me, how many of the deadwood players do you think we will get rid of? Great question. I'm going to ask that back to everybody in the chat. And everyone, please smash a like on the video if you haven't already. There's over 300 of you in the chat this morning, which is absolutely incredible. So the question is, guys, how many of the deadwood players do you think we will get rid of? So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with Elanga, Telles, Bailly, Fred, Donny, that's 5. Dean Henderson, Brandon Williams, 7. Yeah, 7. I reckon 7 players. I haven't obviously included Maguire and McTominay because I think they're kind of 50-50s. But yeah, let me know in the comments section, guys, who do you think will leave this summer? I said 7 players. Henderson, Telles, Bailly, Fred, Donny, Elanga, and Brandon Williams. 7 players. I think 7 players is realistic. Guys, go and have a look at the players that Liverpool have got rid of this summer. Absolutely mental. By the end of this summer, they're literally going to get rid of every single one of their deadwood. They will. People like James Milner, people like Henderson, who's... And they're getting money for these players as well. It's absolutely mental. It really, really is. But yeah, hats off to them. So this is an interesting question an interesting point that somebody has put here. Let me ask you guys this. So Neil says, other YouTube channels did talk about mental health last night and they did a whole program. It would be good to get things off chest if it was a phone in, not with the comments. How does everyone feel about that? Would you guys be interested in a kind of standalone show about mental health and football and how, you know, as a football fan, how it affects people's mental health? Or is that something you wouldn't be interested in? I mean, it's a really, really good suggestion, and it's a bit of content that I personally resonates with me and something that I would like to do. But do let me know if people are interested in that or people aren't, because yeah, it'd be great to get you guys' opinions. Anthony Martial won't be sold, guys. He won't. He's got 1 year left on his contract. He's injured constantly. He's on 250 grand a week. I would say that almost certainly Anthony Martial will not be sold. The only way you get rid of Martial is if you let him go for free. Yeah, so it has been confirmed. West Ham have sold Declan Rice for 105 million to Arsenal. So let's just hope that they come in for McTominay now. Let's just hope. Let's hope that one happens. But yeah, it has been confirmed. Declan Rice is now an Arsenal player. I know this isn't an Arsenal channel, but I do think it will affect, you know, West Ham coming in for our players. So I think it is relevant. Right, we've got about 10 minutes left of the show, guys. So please make sure you like the video if you haven't already, and please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are really hoping that today is the Here We Go day. I'm going to be doing an analysis video on what's he called, Onana, which will go out later today as well. I'm going to prepare that in a little bit, so there'll be a kind of 10-minute long analysis video on Onana, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. And obviously we will do the Here We Go as soon as that one comes in. I've got the notifications on my phone. I'm literally waiting for this message to come through. As soon as we get the Here We Go, of course we will go live, and there will be an analysis video going out later today talking about what I think Onana is going to bring to the team, how it's going to change the way we play, etc., etc. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that sort of thing, then obviously make sure you keep an eye on it. But yeah, at the moment, guys, we are just waiting for that deal. It does really seem like we are doing deals very, very slow. I don't know whether the fax machine stopped working again. I'm not sure. Maybe we need to do a crowd fund for the Glazers to get a new fax machine to hopefully get these deals done a bit quicker. I'm not really too sure, to be honest, guys. But yeah, whatever form of communication they're using to do this Onana deal, they need to rethink it. They need to get some better technology, because the fax machine clearly isn't working very well. What else have we got? So Malp says Arsenal and others are ready to go this season. We haven't even got started. It's worrying. Yeah, I completely agree with you. You know, I try and be positive on the show, but we are 4 weeks away from the season starting, guys. Our first game of the season is 4 weeks on Monday against Wolverhampton Wanderers at home. So we're very close. 4 weeks. That's nothing. 4 weeks will absolutely fly by, okay? And when you think, again, I don't want to be negative, but this is just a fact. I'm not, you know. The transfer window opened 4 weeks yesterday. So in 4 weeks from the transfer window opening, we've sold nobody and we've bought one player. And in 4 weeks from now, the season starts. So when you look at it based on that, you're like, well, we've sold nobody and we've bought one player. It's not great, is it? Yeah, really, it is quite worrying, but I don't know. So yeah, the first game is on the 14th of August. to Monday night. So we will be doing a watch along for that one as well, guys. We do a watch along for every single game now. So yeah, if you do like watch alongs and you do like getting involved with those types of things, then obviously make sure to subscribe. Yeah, the watch alongs was quite fun last time actually. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing another one. We will be doing the watch along for the Lyon game on Wednesday as well, guys. We're playing Lyon in a pre-season friendly this Wednesday at 2 o'clock UK time. So we will be doing a watch along for that one, guys. So do make sure that you you get involved with that. I'm going to read out a few more of your comments, guys. We've got about 5 minutes left of the show, so do make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, the next game is on Wednesday against Lyon, guys. We will be doing a pre-season watch along for that one. Okay, so we've got a question here. Someone says, what do you think, Kieran? Why can't we get at least 40-50 million from the players we're willing to sell? I mean, to be completely honest with you, we should be getting 100 to 150 million. Easy. We've got 100 to 150 million pounds worth of players that we don't need anymore, are just taking up space in our squad and need to be sold. So yeah, it's just whether they can do the deal. That's the issue, okay? We just got to be patient, we do. What have we got? Yeah, I mean, yeah, so it's 4 weeks on Monday is our first game of the season, guys. We play Wolverhampton Wanderers on a Monday night, 8 o'clock match. Really, really excited for the new season. We will be doing a video probably... I'll probably do it maybe the day before the season starts. I'll do a season prediction video, which again will be interactive, and we can all put our comments in on the chat. So it'll be like a, you can put your comments in, and then we can all look back at the end of the season and see who got it right. And I might even do this actually, guys. We'll do some sort of competition on that video. So I'll say, where are Manchester United going to finish? How many points are they going to get? And what trophies are they going to get, all right? And whoever wins will get some sort of prize. So we'll do that, okay, guys? We'll do a video in about 3 or 4 weeks' time, and everyone can enter this competition. You have to predict where we're going to finish, and there'll be some sort of prize given out to whoever, ultimately wins the competition. So Garnacho and Anthony, anybody asking where the rest of the players are? Garnacho, Anthony, Rashford, Luke Shaw, they all returned to training today. Obviously, they got a longer break because they were on international duty, but they all returned to training today. So we will probably start seeing pictures of Bruno Fernandes, all the rest of them at Carrington today. And hopefully we get the confirmation on the new captain, because that's really, really important. I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. I think this is a good point to stop. Please do smash a like on the video on your way out, and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'll be back live at 6 PM UK time. If we get the Here We Go between then and now, of course, we will go live. So do subscribe, do hit the notification bell. This has been Daily Red Devil. I've had an amazing time speaking with you all this morning. I'll catch you guys a bit later on today. Peace out.